All right, Bobby, you're our intro guy.
Today is a special day, and today is a podcast where we talk about that special day. I'm Bobby Parker.
And I'm Joey Nickel. Welcome
to Today Is.
All right. Welcome to Today Is. I'm Bobby Parker, and you're not. I'm not.
We are so backwards right now.
I'm really out of it today, and I don't know why necessarily that I'm out of it. But I am out of it. By the way, I wore this last episode. I did not even address it.
I was going to ask you, and we got busy, and then today we got set up kind of quickly talking about things, and I need to know, are you okay?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's just my wrist started hurting one day. That was it. That's the entire story.
Wow. Yeah. That's
my wrist started hurting one day, and I realized it was hurting more as I woke up, and I think maybe I'm sleeping on it, like I'm turning my wrist when I sleep or something.
Question. Is it painful when you use these three fingers and No?
No.
Okay.
It's not carpal tunnel syndrome.
Okay.
I had carpal tunnel syndrome. I had surgery to fix the carpal tunnel syndrome.
Gotcha.
Many years ago, probably 15 or 16 years ago. So it's not that. It's a pain right here. And at first I wasn't sure if it was muscular, but it could be muscular. But it's just basically hurts right here. And when I move my wrist, but keeping it immobile helps it.
Okay.
Like it's been getting better as I've been keeping it more immobile, especially when I sleep. I wear it when I sleep, helps a ton.
I'm glad that something makes it feel better.
So I don't know. I'm just old or something. Like it's not I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the way I've been sleeping on it that caused it to hurt or what. I'm not sure exactly.
We are definitely getting older. I've been having problems sleeping recently. So my wife decided that on our weekend trip to Atlanta that she was going to drive, and I'm really good with it. She's a great driver. But our son also was like, hey, I'm getting a little car sick, so I got relegated to the back seat. And that's kind of a big ego hit. Like it's cool to sit in the back seat when like you're in a limo. But when
I don't know that I've sat in the back seat of my own car ever.
Yeah.
Is that the first time you ever sat in the back seat of your own car?
No. When we did the test drive and stuff like that, like I purposely sat in the back seat
to see what it was like.
Yeah, just to make sure it wasn't.
Yeah,
awful.
I don't think I've sat in the back seat of my car, but my car has a lot of room in the back seat. I have an SUV, so it's not so bad. You have an SUV, right?
Yeah. I have an SUV. We took my wife's car, which is a little little Subaru thing. So it's
Yeah, the back seat's not too bad in my car, I think. Now, the way back seat, because we have 3 rows.
Oh, yeah.
The way back seat is very crammed. Like, we have to throw the tiny child back there.
Right. That is reserved for tiny children and very old people.
Yeah. There's not a lot of room back there. I do want to... can I use this for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, do you have any shows? Okay, we're just going to... I don't know how to do the timeline on this. This is going to be next week. We're recording this a week early. We're recording this a week early. This is going to be released, I believe, on the 16th. And we're recording it early. So, you're going to get information from this previous week that we just had about shows and stuff like that. So, what shows did you have this week?
So, this week, I did not have a show. I went up to do some networking and try to talk my way into a show in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What show?
So it is the Alley Stage in Marietta, Georgia.
Okay.
So we had a family trip already planned to go up there. And then it turned out like, hey, Saturday evening is free. So I'm like, hey, this is going to be my time. So I went to see a taping there last last winter, and I loved the little theater. So I'm like, hey, they do a comedy night on Friday nights and Saturday nights, but they don't have a lineup listed anywhere. So it's locals and traveling comedians who come in that are pre-booked, just doing like 15 minutes a piece. So I'm like, I've emailed them a couple times. I'm like, hey, I want to be in the show. Talk to me. I haven't gotten a response. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
So I showed up. The guy who books it wasn't there, but I spoke to the staff, who were amazing. They, I was chatting with them. They're like, hey, you're a comedian. Just come in and watch the show for free.
Oh, nice.
So I got to sit in. I chatted with some of the comedians who were in the show, like, hey, drop some names, but also didn't annoy them because it was right before the show, so can't.
Yeah, right. You don't want to bug them.
Yeah, and that was actually my opening with them. I'm like, you guys on tonight? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I don't really have to talk to you before the show. I just want to know if Colt's here. I'm a comedian. I get how annoying this is.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, no. And they're like, okay, that guy's not here. And then they chatted with me. So I'm like, okay, good. Yeah. Like at least I broke the ice that way. So it was cool. They're nice folks. And I've romanticized this little theater and the area around it. It's like they've got like little outdoor restaurants, and like it's like there's a historic square that people hang out, little park, and families are always playing there. And it's like it's ideal because you go and you can do the show, and then they've got a place down the street. It's called the Pie Bar. All they do is serve pie and coffee and milk, and like their big business is like selling like whole pies to people, but like it's just a little counter service, So my family went in, I had like a taste of pie and like a sip of coffee, and it was like the best night of my life. I'm like, this is awesome.
So did you what comic did you meet? Exchange any information with any of the comics, or just?
Yes. So exchange information. I frankly don't remember their names off the top of my head. I mean, they're like it. Yeah. It was like AJ, Evan. Like I don't know their last names. And just very funny folks. I just hadn't met them before.
Well, that sounds awesome. Sounds like you were able to have a good time at the theater. Is it the same theater that was Danny Johnson? That
Yes.
You saw Danny at for that? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I hate Atlanta, but other than that, it's cool.
I can completely get that.
I just hate traffic and parking and everything.
So I mentioned the humbling experience, the ego hit of not driving. I didn't have to drive in Atlanta.
That's true.
And my
you have
wife
to drive in the Atlanta traffic.
My wife is an exceptionally good driver. So I don't worry when she's behind the wheel. So I was actually just in the back seat writing stuff, sending emails. I actually got work done. It was almost relaxing. So I'm opening myself up to new opportunities now.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. I am really tired. I do have some news, though. Yeah. I have some news about our podcast information. I did get the updates on how we are ranking for keyword searches.
Keyword searches, okay.
Or I don't know if that's what it is. I just know that they're key. It says top 3 keywords of our podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, according to Apple Podcast. Notable comedians.
Notable comedians.
Which is more than one word.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're thinking. We are number 6.
We're number 6.
We're number 6 for comedian. I don't know what we are number 6 with, but we're number 6 when it comes to the words notable comedians.
Like is it like no, like N-O and then a big space and then table comedians?
And no table comedians.
Yeah, we do not want table comedians. No table comedians.
Let me take a look. It says, while analyzing this data with Joey Nickel and Joey and Bobby, and I wanted to share insights about your current keyword visibility. Here are the top 3 keywords your podcast is currently ranked for.
Okay.
Notable comedians, we're number 6.
Number 6.
In Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
Brian Bates.
Brian Bates.
We're number 32. I still don't know why, because I don't do. Is it because now we're mentioning that we are ranked 32 for Brian Bates, so that gets us up on the rankings?
Well, I talked about him back when I talked about that special with Danny Johnson at this Alley's Theater. So now it's coming back, and we're going to be higher on the list because we're talking about Brian Bates
now.
again.
I think this is also a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, here are your keywords. It's like, and then we mention the keywords, and then it's like, well, our keywords numbers have raised. I don't even know what this means. I don't know what. Okay, for Joey, we are ranked number 39.
Number 39
in Apple Podcasts for podcasts with the keyword Joey.
But number 32 for Brian Bates.
32 for Brian Bates for some reason. Okay. Even though one of the hosts of the podcast is named Joey, we are number 39, and Brian Bates has nothing to do with this podcast.
Now, I will say, to be fair, Joey, very non-specific.
That is true.
It's
Joey's a very non-specific name.
And there's going to be plenty of other Joeys out there. So number 39, not bad, but still.
Yeah.
32 for Brian Bates feels high.
That feels like why? Like, I don't even now, Spotify rankings, we only have one word in the rankings, and it is Joey, and we are 146.
That feels
Is it because Joe Rogan's on Spotify?
I don't think so, because I don't think I've ever heard of somebody call him Joey.
No, that's true. That's true. Nobody's calling Joe Rogan Joey.
Yeah, and maybe like Dana White, but that not on the podcast.
So yeah, we're number 6 for notable comedians. That goes on our credits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, here. This is what it explains it.
Oh,
why these specific keywords matter. It just says they don't. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. These are actual search terms where your podcast appears in the results across Apple Podcasts and Spotify from our daily crawling through hundreds and thousands of keywords. These represent your strongest current search positions. So it is searching keywords.
Okay.
If some seem irrelevant to your content or are not on the top positions for your ideal keywords, that's actually revealing a key opportunity. It means you're not optimized for the keyword that would attract your ideal audience. I don't know what our keyword would be to attract our ideal audience. Holiday? I don't know.
It feels like Brian Bates would be our key audience.
Yeah, that's true.
Like people
who are fans of Brian Bates should be like. I feel like they would like this show too.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just contact Brian Bates and tell him he has another podcast apparently.
I hate I've contacted Brian. I've met him before.
Yeah. And I met him years ago.
Ditto.
Like a long time ago.
I met him, I think, in 2018.
Yeah, I think I met him in, because this is a competition. I think I met him like the year I started comedy is when I met him. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Like he came and featured at the Comedy Zone for who's the guy who's Korean, but he has an Irish name.
No.
Is he Korean? I'm pretty sure he's Korean.
Oh, Steve Byrne.
Steve Byrne.
Yeah.
So Steve Byrne, he featured for Steve Byrne.
That
years ago. I want to say 2000. I don't know. I think it like 2015. I want to say.
Okay.
So yeah. So like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I met him in Nashville at the Christian Comedian Association.
That's right. Yeah.
And so it wasn't something where he would remember me. I just remember people saying, "Oh, this guy," and he works with Nate a lot. I did not know Nate's name at the time. Most even comedians, I don't think, did. He was just about to blow up.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then since then, I've reached out a couple times. I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying to do this. Is this something you have any info on?" Or I saw he was booked for a show. I'm like, "Hey, can I get a guest spot, or can I host or something like that? Is there anything I can do?" And he's been very cordial, but it's strong nose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he comes to Florida like pretty often. I see him doing shows in Florida.
Yeah, like Sarasota areas.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so those are our notable keywords.
Cool.
Notable comedians we're number 6. I don't even know. I don't even understand.
Yeah,
why we're number 6. That doesn't even make any sense to me. Brian Bates, we're number 32, and Joey, we're number 39.
Hey, I'm so happy that there are so many Bobbies out there that we don't even register.
Yep.
Yeah. People love English police officers, and that's the podcast segment that I can't crack it.
Yeah. We need to have a theme song for this, like reading the stats or something. I don't know. All right. Or where does our podcast rank today, or something like that. All right. I wanted to read some emails. I don't think. Did I read this one? Yep, I read that one. Okay, I'm going to read some emails. It says, no, that's not right either. Wait, what? What is this in response to? Oh, I haven't even read this email. Usually I read these emails. This is really a fun episode for you guys, for me to sit here silently while I read emails.
Yes. I should have picked up the slack there.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Joey and Bobby. As always, fun episode as always. I hope my comment about never laughing so hard during the AI song didn't come across as a jab, especially since I've listened to every episode. Don't worry, your comedy jobs are secure for now. LOL. Thanks again for featuring my AI songs. So this is a guy who wrote our AI songs. I had a blast making them. It's been a few days since I watched the episode, so the details are a little fuzzy, but I do remember you talking about You Can't Do That on Television. What a great show. I haven't seen it in ages, and I'm not sure it still holds up. But if I say I don't know, I'll probably get slimed. Yeah, that was the...
that was it.
Also, Three Amigos is a classic. It's a male plane. How can you tell? Yeah.
Exactly how you can.
Yeah. Really looking forward to seeing y'all at the Knock Knock Comedy Showcase tonight. Okay, so this was a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And here are a few more things that I made with AI about your podcast. So here's a picture he made.
Oh, nice.
It says, and I'll put this on the screen for you guys. It says, today is whatever they say it is, and we're here for it. And it's a picture of us.
Yeah, that is a...
I don't know what that's supposed to be. What is that map there with...
There's it's like pointing to... like
Texas, somewhere in Texas?
Houston, maybe?
I don't... why is that there?
I don't know. And I'm curious why there's a pie next to your head.
Well, we had a Pie Day episode.
Oh, that's true.
And we had an ugly sweater episode. So there's the ugly sweater.
Okay.
Did we have... Well, no, did we have an episode? We didn't have an episode about Texas or anything. Did we have a popsicle? We didn't have a popsicle episode either.
I mean, we've had several food episodes, but I don't remember popsicles.
I specifically remember us banning popsicles from our show.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I was willing to go
of all the food things, I don't think we've ever talked about popsicles.
No.
So that is kind of weird. But the pie thing and the sweater thing makes sense. Those two other things don't make any sense. But today is whatever they say it is. Today is whatever we say it is, and you're here for it.
That's right. I like that because it gives me control.
Actually, the picture's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
It even has you in a sport coat.
Yes, I love that, and that actually plays into some of the stuff we're talking about today too.
Yeah, so. That's funny. That's pretty good. All right, I think I have another email.
All right. So I didn't ask. Did you have any shows this week?
So we did have our second show at Really Good Beer Stop.
Oh yeah, how was that?
And it was awesome.
Nice.
We ended up selling 66 tickets, which is more than last time. Last time we capped it at 50 because we only had 50 chairs.
Yes.
So I brought extra chairs this time. I put the ticket cap at 70 and brought like 20 chairs. And folding chairs, and it worked out. We were able to fit everybody. It was super awesome show.
Nice.
We had a really good time. Everybody had fun. Danny Johnson was our headliner, did a great job. It was a really awesome show. I had a good time. It was really fun. I think, and we're planning on the next one for September 5th. Anna Lepoli will be our comic on September 5th.
That is fun. I am excited to hear the dolphin-related material that she brings for you. Just one of those random fun things.
So I had that show last week, and then coming up, we do the coming ups later. So that was a lot of fun. The open mic is not going so well at Lily's.
It's a tough spot for me to get to. I know that.
It's getting pretty. Yeah, we're getting less and less comics coming out to it every week. So if you're a comic and you're listening to this, please come to Lily's unless it's already been canceled. So. So we'll see how the crowd is this week. But yeah, Lily's, we're having a little tough time. Shantytown, I don't think there's any risk of that getting canceled. Shantytown seems pretty good.
Yes,
Tuesday's a tough day.
It is
for sure.
It's a rough one, and logistically, it's tough for me to get there.
I would say Tuesday. So like as far as open mic days go. Does not apply to regular comedy shows. Open mic days, I would say like Monday and Thursday are usually the best, at least in my experience. Wednesday's usually pretty good too, but it's like Monday you get the service industry's weekend.
Yes.
Yep. You get people who don't get the weekends off will have Mondays off a lot of times, and so Mondays is a good night for open mics because of that usually. Thursday, people kind of start their weekend early sometimes.
Yes.
So you get the early weekend crowd, and that's usually pretty good. Wednesdays can go either way. Some people want to go out midweek, so you get the midweek outers, kind of stuff.
And I've noticed like corporate culture stuff, like a lot of times, like, hey, we're gonna have like a group function.
It'll be a Wednesday.
Because it's like, hey.
Yeah, that's very common.
Yeah, because they don't want to take people on Thursday because they might be off on Friday. They don't want to do it on Friday because they're not dumb.
Yeah.
Wednesdays are good for it.
So, I'm hoping we can try to figure out ways to build that show up a little bit. But in the meantime, please come out every Monday at Shantytown, every Tuesday at Lily's. And there was a fresh spot. Did you end up going to it or no?
I was not able to get there.
I heard it went really well, though.
Awesome.
Everybody involved said it was great. I had Spike Yoder host it for me at Fresh Spot. So I heard it went great. It was really good. We didn't have one last month, so I wasn't sure how it would go.
Right.
Because we had it was 4th of July last month, so we didn't have one. But I heard it went great.
Excellent. So. I really wanted to. Our family ended up in Atlanta and traveling a little bit sooner than I was expecting, but yeah, it was cool.
Okay. So what are we at? We're at exactly 23 minutes in, and we don't have to go too terribly long with this because I do have some ideas to supplement some time. But today's topic is Tell a Joke Day.
Ooh, I like that.
It is National Tell a Joke Day. I for some reason I thought this would apply to us. I don't know. That was I don't know why, but I felt like we would know a lot about this topic.
I sadly sometimes think that people don't think that about us sometimes. But yes, we should. We should be okay with this topic.
So I thought there are two things I want to do with this topic. I would like to talk about our process of writing jokes.
Okay.
And compare our two processes. And I would like to maybe have each of us tell a joke from our act.
Okay.
And then and it can be a thing where we talk about how we developed that specific joke or not or whatever. And then I'd like to I'll probably supplement this with when we're at Comedy Zone, I might ask a couple comics to tell some jokes on the podcast and add that to add that and supplement this. So that being said, first of all, when you first started doing stand-up comedy, did your process for writing jokes change from then? So like whatever you were doing to write jokes back then, is it different than it is now?
It has to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. It's not completely different because I mean I think finding.
Talking.
Yeah, so it's like some of the premises, like the funny things that are said around you or ideas that pop in your head. You'll still have that, but like how you flesh it out, how you build around it, changes. Like you've learned, I've learned to be more focused, to like write out like ideas and then kind of put them into the joke after I get the premise down.
So my process is very different from what I started. Now, I will say, like, it has always been my jokes. I've always focused on stuff that's happened to me.
Right.
Then I write a joke about it. This happened, and then I write a joke about it. Even when it's observational, it's like that's something I observed, and then write a joke about it. I don't know that I'm a classic joke writer. I do have a few one-liners and stuff where they're general topics where it's like, oh, I'm going to have this joke about this or that. But I would say most of my material comes from personal experience. And I think that's a smart move for anybody looking to write.
Absolutely.
I think for two reasons. If you're writing a joke and you're trying to write it like, hey, I'm going to write a joke about birds today. Like that's very inorganic to kind of to develop a joke that way.
Right.
To have a topic. Now, I'm going to completely contradict myself. Sometimes it is good to have parameters, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is good to say like, okay, I'm going to write a joke like this today, and then the parameters sometimes can spawn creativity.
Right.
But I don't think it's going to work out very well if you just say, birds are kind of funny. I'm going to write a joke about birds. I might, if you really like, I really should write some jokes about birds. I don't know why you would, but if you happen to think that, if you have that viewpoint, I would have, to me, and this is my writing process currently, I would say like, I'm like, I really want to write some jokes about birds. Just have that in your mind. Just be like, I'm going to just notice stuff about birds, and then funny stuff hopefully will come through. And that's kind of how I write. It's like if there's a topic I want to write about, I'm probably just going to let it remind myself I'm looking for stuff, and then I'm not going to sit down and write out like, let's see, what's something funny about. I'm not going to brainstorm joke ideas about birds.
Right. So I'm very different in that regard. Like I will find a subject that I find to be completely I think just fascinating, and usually because it's ridiculous. For instance, a joke that I have been working on, it's my Moby Dick joke. It's the great white whale. The one I've been chasing is the Supreme Court once ruled that the tomato is a vegetable and not a fruit.
Right.
Like it's a legal ruling.
Yeah.
And it's completely ridiculous. So I've researched it, and now I'm figuring out how to incorporate that research into I that's the fun part for me. I'm like, hey, how can I make this and bring it in to where people will understand it and it relates to me in that fun way?
So I like that you're choosing something very specific. I like that, and I think that the risk in choosing something broad, like we'll just keep using birds as the example. Yeah. The risk in using something broad like birds is you risk somebody already having a joke that you're writing, the kind of thing. Whereas if you're writing something about your personal life, then the risk of somebody else writing that same thing about your personal life is going to be fairly low.
Right. Yes.
And I do think like with the tomato Supreme Court thing, I think there is a risk there of somebody else thinking of that, because it is a very specific thing that is kind of funny. It's already inherently funny.
Sure.
So I've lost a couple jokes that way, where I observed something funny and wrote a joke about it, and then some other comedian also thought it was funny and then wrote a joke about it. I have yet to have that happen in a way to where it's like they were the same joke, but they were just the same topic. Like I have a joke. Or I had a whole bit where I would talk about this was a bit based on sayings. Now, I realized that I wouldn't be I realized down the road that I was like, you know what, I'm not the first comedian to talk about how ridiculous some sayings are.
Oh, yeah.
So, I kind of just abandoned the topic, but the bits, the riffs I had on them, I thought were pretty good and pretty original. But it was but the first bit I ever did about that was about PETA they put out a release saying that these phrases we all use in our everyday thing are anti-animal, are cruel to animals, and we need to change them. And they came up with suggestions on what those phrases should be. And another comic, now I've thought about messaging this comic because he's better, more well-known than I am.
Right.
I've thought about messaging this comic and sending him, because I have a TikTok video of me doing this bit years ago, over at least 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I thought about sending it to him, just to not to be like, hey, stop doing this bit, just to send it to him. Right. I don't know what my end game is for that.
Be like, hey, obviously we both are really cool people because we think alike. Let me be on a show.
Now his bit is different. I will admit we went different directions with it.
Right.
But I feel like that's such a specific thing that having a bit about it, two comics having a bit about it. I mean, I still think I could do the bit, but if we both ended up on TV or something and we're both doing that bit, I think that wouldn't be good. If I would never do that bit on anywhere where it's going to be recorded, probably. Right. But I do have the evidence of when I did it. So that is one that, I don't know. So I don't remember exactly how the direction he went, but the direction I went was I read the saying. One of the examples was, I can't remember everything I did because I haven't done it in years. But just one of them was beat a dead horse was it was promoted animal cruelty.
Right.
And the phrase they came up with, which was supposed to be friendlier to animals, was feed a fed horse. And I argued that is worse than beating a dead horse.
Yeah, you're force-feeding an
animal. You're force-feeding an animal that doesn't want to eat. They already ate, and now that is actual animal torture. You know what isn't animal torture? Beating a dead horse because it's already dead.
Yeah.
As long as you're not the one who killed the horse, then beating the dead horse is not animal torture in any way because the horse is already dead. So you want to introduce feeding a fed horse? Now, I understand the whole premise of the saying is that you should not do it. You're I understand that. Which, by the way, it's saying you shouldn't beat a dead horse. the phrase, the whole concept of the phrase.
You know what? Like PETA, in general, they're really into environmentalism as well.
Sure.
It's animals, but also I think there's a big carryover with environmentalism. I think if you beat a dead horse, aren't you helping it break down?
Yeah, you're helping break down the body so that it can be absorbed back into the earth.
So isn't beating a dead horse better?
What else are you going to do with the dead horse? What else are you going to do on a Tuesday for fun?
Who knows?
So that's how I went with them. I think his direction was a little bit different. But basically my direction with every saying was the one they came up with was actually worse than the one that existed. And also, all the phrases they came up with were stuff that nobody uses anymore. Who says beat it? Nobody says beat a dead horse anymore. I don't know. Is that something? Especially anybody who would care what PETA says.
Right. Yeah. I can't imagine there being people that care about PETA and
still
phrase.
Using that phrase.
Yes.
Yeah. The other one was another one was kill two birds with one stone, and then it was which. Okay, that one's definitely an example of animal cruelty. So the next, and then their phrase they came up with was "feed two birds with one scone," which again, I don't know why they're insistent on it's always got to be about feeding the animals.
Right.
Also, you don't feed scones to birds. There's too much sugar in scones.
Yeah, it's
and that's too high of carbs.
And frankly, don't people need food more?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, also, I I don't like. Don't give birds scones. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't give birds scones.
Give
they don't
them
need
rice.
scones. Give them
rice and Alka-Seltzer.
Give them birds. How about we give them bird seed? Stop feeding them scones. Why are you giving the birds scones? Are scones fried or no?
They are not fried.
They're not fried,
no.
but so don't do that. The next one was what was the next one? Oh, bring home the bacon.
Okay.
I understand how that could be offensive to somebody who's a vegan when
Sure.
you say bring home the bacon as a phrase. Which that one, I guess, people probably... I don't even know if people really use that one. I'll tell you what they use is breadwinner. That one they use more than bring home the bacon.
Yes,
like I'm the sole breadwinner, that kind of thing, which is completely cruelty-free. Saying is a cruelty-free phrase.
Right.
So I would say bring home the bacon... Yeah, okay. But nobody uses that anymore. Nobody says bring home the bacon.
Yeah, unless you're using blood flour.
Yeah,
That's,
right. What?
I
was going to let that one slide. I was going to yes and let that one slide, but it was so weird. I don't even know what that meant.
You said cruelty free, so I was thinking like blood diamonds and blood flour.
The whole flower industry, man.
Yeah.
The whole flower industry is just bodies. Just
They're piling
a
up.
lot of people have died along the way to get us the flour that we want. All right. So their phrase was bring home the bagels, which I just don't use either of them. Like they're both dumb phrases.
That feels like it feels like it's going to be anti-Semitic.
It's mildly anti-Semitic, which,
yeah.
by the way, also bring home the bacon is too. So I guess it's a wash.
Right.
It's a wash on that one.
Good point. They kept the anti-Semitism
like,
at the same level.
We really want to keep the sentiment of the anti-Semitism, which that's a hard phrase to say. The anti-Semitism sentiment.
The anti-Semitism
we really like to keep that aspect of the phrase, so we're gonna go with bring home the bagels. Yeah, so that's kind of funny. That one's a wash, I think.
Nice.
And then there was grab the bull by the horns.
Okay.
Then the phrase they came up with was grab the flower by the thorns. Those are two different phrases. Those do not have the same imagery.
No,
absolutely not.
Yeah, both of those are bad.
You're not going to die from grabbing a flower by the thorns, which, by the way, if you grab a bull by the horns, that is not animal cruelty. You are going to die. Like you think you have some sort of effect on that bull if you grab them by the horns? Not at all.
No, you're just basically holding onto something so the bull can move you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I understand that the bull is going to set me down where it wants to.
Thorns do not have the same danger factor as a bull, so don't give me grab a flower by the thorns. That's ridiculous. Also, you are a nothing. If you grab a bull by the horns, that bull you have not affected that bull in any way.
Yeah.
Like that is fine. That is not animal cruelty. You know what wasn't on that list?
What?
More than one way to skin a cat.
Really?
That was not on the list.
Huh.
Which is probably the most egregious phrase of all the animal cruelty phrase. That one has to be the most egregious phrase, right? More than one way to skin a cat.
And frankly, it's the one I would probably use the most now.
I know, and that's the one people probably actually use. More than one, which, by the way, is there more than... I mean, how many ways are there to skin a cat? Folks at home, write in. Tell us how many ways you have skinned a cat, and let us know. Is there more than one way to skin a cat?
And if you're under the age of 18, do not look that up on YouTube.
Yeah, don't do that. So I guess those are some jokes that I've told. I was going to say some jokes for my act. Well, those are some jokes. Now I've said them twice in media. But yeah, so the way I write jokes, do you write word for word or no?
I have.
Every time I write word for word, they're terrible. And I still do it sometimes. I still will be like, I really would like to flesh out the wording on this joke. I think I'm going to write it down word for word and what I think is the funniest way to say it, and try to memorize at least the phrasing because I think it'll be funnier if every time it fails. I'm never good at that. I don't know why I can't figure that out.
What I will actually do that. I will say, hey, this is the specific wording I want.
Yes.
Like, hey, this is the punchline. I want to have this in the setup and punchline. So I'll write that out, and I'll leave everything else around it kind of fluid. But I'm like, hey, this phrase I need.
Here's the thing. I've never written. I don't write. I have, but I don't write jokes from scratch. I don't sit down and write a joke from scratch. But I always try, like, every so often there'll be a joke where I'm like, I really think I can work out the wording of this joke, and that a joke that I've been doing, and then the punchline, yes, as I tell you when it works for me is when I don't write it down, when I do figure out specific wording, but instead of writing it down, I just try to keep doing it over and over again on stage. For some reason, the act of writing it down and then trying to remember what I've written down completely kills a joke. And I don't know if it's the way I deliver it because my brain is working completely different than it usually does.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm better off saying it over and over and trying to memorize the way I say it, or even listening to my act, listening to the bit, and being, I could change it there, and try to remember it for the next time. I'm always better off doing that for some reason. I don't know why the translation from writing the joke to actually telling it bombs the joke for me.
Yeah.
Like it never works for me. And people are different. Chris Buck writes all of his jokes word for word.
Okay.
Like plenty of comics do it that way.
Yes. I like one of the famous ones, Seinfeld. Like
Seinfeld writes his jokes
word for word. Then he'll go through and eliminate like the words. So he'll go through like 3 or 4 legal tablets a day.
Which I am actually kind of jealous of that sometimes. That like I kind of wish my brain worked like that because it'd be easier to kind of see if I could see it spread out visually. But I don't know. My brain doesn't work like that.
Yeah, one of the things that I've really started to do is after a show, going out and writing down notes and tags.
Yes.
Like, oops, hey, I missed this. You know, what did I do? Like immediate thoughts.
Yeah.
And trying to write stuff out after the show. It's not always possible because you might have to talk with people, which is perfect. I love talking with people. Don't want to imply I don't, but it's not easy to do.
No, you hate people.
I do.
I do. I hate people. So Danny, one thing I do, one thing I do like adding tags. So tags are fun to add. That's part of the writing process. Yep. And honestly, I don't know that I really use other people's tags for my jokes very much. Most of the time, somebody will tag a joke. Another comic will tag it. Now, if an audience member tags a joke for me, I shoot them in the head. But is it? I mean, that's got to be most comics' top 5 most annoying things about being a comic is after a show, somebody will come up and be like, you should say this after that joke. Like they'll try to tag a joke for you. A normie will come up and try to tag a joke for you, and you're like, don't stop doing that. Yeah. Just putting it out there for everyone who goes to comedy shows. Stop going up to the comic afterwards. There are people who go up to like Bill Burr and try to tag a joke for him. And they're an audience member. They're not a comic. They're just an audience member. Now, I appreciate a comic trying to tag a joke for me, trying to help me tag a joke. That's always fun. Typically, I don't use them very much because most of the time they'll tag it. Most comics will tag a joke based on what they would say.
Right.
And they don't know your voice necessarily. So the tags are funny to them because they're like, oh, this is what I would say. And then I try to put it, I don't get a lot of luck with tags from other comics.
Yeah, I get that wholeheartedly. I actually find myself writing tags for other comedians a lot. And a lot of times I don't give them to the comedians because I'm like, I do know it's annoying. I get annoyed when people give them to me. Mm-hmm. But if it's somebody I know, I'm more apt to do so because I know that they'll trust where I'm coming from.
So that being said, I got a tag from Danny Johnson. this last week after the show, and at the time when he said, "Hey, I have some tags for you," because we were taking pictures, so he was like, "After all this, remind me, I have some tags for you," and my knee-jerk reaction in my head was like, "Oh, come on!" Like, because I never get good tags. It seems like, but his tags were really good, and I was like, "Oh, I guess that's that's the benefit to working with somebody who's been doing comedy this long." But
yes, yeah,
great tags. I'm probably going to try them out the next time I do these bits.
that's
so
awesome.
I was very happy with the tags, yeah. So sometimes you get some good ones. I will say the best tag / kind of rewrite of one of my jokes. There are some from comics that I really respect that have really. I got a. Nick Thune gave me a rewrite on a joke one time that I still use today. It was the best way to, like, his way of doing the joke was way better than the way I had it, and it turned out really good. So there are every once in a while that works out, but I would say most of the time, if you're at an open mic, I would say 90% of the time I don't like the tags I get.
Yeah,
but that's how it goes. Like,
right, and for I will say for me, I still write them out, even though I don't give them to people, because it's making me think.
Yeah, it helps create add some creativity to your brain.
Yeah, and I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I'm writing jokes off of your jokes. It's just
helps keep your brain creative.
Yeah. So
I'll let you know. So I'm gonna just tell you my normal process for writing any old joke.
Okay.
What it is now. I am driving my car or sitting at home or see something that and most of the time I'll see something that triggers my brain on TV or something, and it'll have nothing to do with what I'm watching on TV. It'll just trigger some memory or something like that. I'm like, oh, that guy looks like this guy, and that reminds me of this friend I had in high school. Like, it'll be completely irrelevant most of the time to what I'm actually watching, but it'll trigger a memory or a thought or something, and then I'll pull out my phone. Oh, I was like, where's my phone? Oh, it's recording. Hello, phone. I can't show you, but I pull out my phone, and I have a pen on my phone. And this is why I have a note. Or it's not a note anymore, but the Ultra. This is why I have a phone with a pen. I still ever since I got one many years ago, I still buy one with a pen. So I pull it out. As soon as you pull it out, it pulls up your notepad, and you write it down. As soon as you put the pen in, it saves it.
Nice.
So it's super easy. I write. It's usually 1 or 2 words. It'll be like birds, or it'll be 1 or 2 words. It'll be something like, let's say I was thinking about the PETA jokes. I'll be like, oh, PETA sayings, and that'll be it. That'll be like all I write. Maybe PETA sayings actually more cruel than the real ones. Even that's a lot. Usually I don't even write that much. Usually I'll just write 1 or 2 words. So let's say it's PETA sayings is what I write down. My next step is to, if it's something like PETA sayings, then I've got to do some research, right? So the next step is to do the research on what those sayings are, and then I will I'll put a list of those sayings in my notes, and then I'm prepared for, when I'm trying to flesh out the joke on stage, I've got them in my notes to read off of. So then I've got that. I've got the 1 word, and then I've got the research, and then I go to an open mic, and I try it out at the open mic, and I have the phone in my hand. I'm looking at my notes at the open mic, trying out the new joke. I've got the listing of this, and I'm like, in this case, it would have been like, all right, what's funny about that phrase specifically? And then I'd say that, and I try it on stage. Tried it a couple more open mics. Then I try it at more of a professional show, like a showcase or something, a show where I'm not headlining. So that's the next step. Then the next step would be to do it at a show where, that I need to have the best material. That would be the final step. Would be it ends up in the main act. But I write on stage. Like, I come up with what I'm gonna say on stage. The only difference would be, like, if it's a personal experience, I'm probably not going to have the research part of it. So that's the only change. The only step I add is if it's something like that, I'm going to add a research step. And if it's something like a personal experience, I'm not going to add a research step unless I'm trying to remember somebody's name or an event or something that I participated in. So that's basically all my jokes are one or two words. Like if I have a list of my jokes and they graduate. So there's the jokes I'm working on, and then the jokes that are put together bits.
Right.
I'm like, these jokes are finished bits. Not that they won't change. I add stuff to bits all the time. Not that they won't change. And I guess I have a pretty good memory, maybe, about certain things because I'm pretty good at remembering, like, the way I said it tonight was the best way I've ever said it. I'm pretty good at remembering how to do it later.
Nice.
Which is a skill I think I've developed, but also maybe it's part of my brain naturally is able to do that. And I realize that some people can't do that, and that's why they need to write that down or they re-listen to their sets and stuff. Right. And I'll do that sometimes, but for the most part, if I tell a joke a certain way and it does well and it was different, then I'm usually good about maintaining the difference moving forward. I think so. I don't know.
Nice. I see. I like that. Most of my jokes are a true evolution where I'm like, hey, I'm starting off with this premise, and I've kind of write this joke, and then that joke becomes its own thing, and I take that out, and the original joke's just gone.
Yeah.
And so then the little offshoot premise becomes its joke.
Yes. Yeah.
And
that happens. Yeah, that definitely happens.
When I was getting back into stand up, and this is something I'm still terrible at is opening shows and opening my set. I'm like part of it's just my personality. I'm socially awkward. Like I don't know how to introduce myself to people in general, which is not good for a comedian. But so I'm like, hey, what? Yeah. So I go out to, hey, what can I say about me? And I went with, hey, this is how I normally dress on stage. So jeans, jacket. So like, hey, this is it. So my opening coming back out was, yes, I'm coming out here dressed redneck formal. So it's either college professor or redneck formal. Not a great joke, any stretch of the imagination. But then I'm like, oh, college professor. Let's talk about that. Like, I wish I could do that. But I don't have the cool things at the end of the name, the initials, and and one of the fun things I have with jokes is if I have names in it, I like to use names of my friends if they're in the audience or just random people that I know. So I always use like my high school friends, like my buddy Kyle Brown, DDS, or Scott Harvey, MD, or Chris Shondell, PhD, and then there's just me, Bobby Parker, FAT. So I do that, so I'd be able to throw out the fat joke, calling myself dumb. I'm like, but then I'm like, hey, it's talking about college. Hey, I did go to college. So like, let's bring that in. So that's where my process went. Like, one of the other things I talked about was running shoes. Hey, I'm wearing running shoes. Don't let that fool you. I'm not a runner. And which ended up becoming my 5K joke. So which is one of my favorite jokes. I'm like, hey, failed openings, but good middle joke now.
I would say now when I think of a joke and then I try it before I tried it on stage, when I write, if it's a premise, if it's like a whole thing, right. Now it could be a small thing. And then most of the time I'm doing most of the writing on stage, but if it's a whole thing that I want to turn into a whole story, then I'm already doing it in my head. Do you ever do that?
Oh yeah.
I'm already performing it in my head or performing it to myself in the car, like, and not like out loud like I would on the stage, but like I'm like. Yeah, well, you ever, like I'm saying it to myself. I'm saying how I would say the wording in my voice for telling that story on stage. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta say, yeah, and this, like I'm already going through how I would say it on stage before I get to it.
100% As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I have an Apple Watch, that's a weird segue, but is I can do voice memos on here.
Yeah.
So I can record myself saying like, hey, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Do a voice memo. Just say it into my watch, and I will hear it back in the same cadence that I was thinking it.
So one time I found a voice memo for myself one time, and I don't know if I just couldn't. I woke up and thought of a joke, and I think I couldn't get my hands to write or something, and so I just recorded it, and I don't even know what is like. I was like, I don't know what I'm even saying. Like, I'm saying words, like I understand what I'm saying, but I don't know where the joke is in this at all. And I was like, I don't know why I thought that was funny.
That is 100% why I do the voice memo now, and I try to say a sentence or two instead of a keyword, because I'm not gonna remember why that keyword's funny.
If I wake up to write something down, I will not remember. Like, it's so funny because other comics have talked about that, like waking up in the night and be like, oh, I gotta write this down. Every time that happens, I do not remember what it was.
No.
Like, I write it down and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta write this down. Oh man, salami. Like, why is salami? Why did I just have the word salami written here? What joke could I think? Like, I can't think of what I was trying to say with salami.
Yeah, that tracks. That happens all the time. I'm like, why did I write down I'm single now?
Yeah,
like
right.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's like let's see, red shoes. Why does it say red shoes? Why? Like I very rarely when I wake up in the middle of the night and write down a joke does it actually mean it. Like I never remember what it means.
Right? No, never.
Well, I think that's about it for us today. Did you have anything you want to add to our topic?
No, I think that. Well, actually, yeah. One thing. It is Tell a Joke Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should tell one of our favorite just like dad jokes.
Oh, let's see. I think you got one.
I got one. This is one of my all-time favorite jokes. I might have told it on here before, but it's one of my. It's just great. So it's, how did they name Canada?
Oh yeah.
They drew letters out of a hat. It's a C. A. It's an N. A. It's I love that joke. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't think of any jokes right now. But that's okay. I think I'm going to supplement this one with a couple. I'm going to have a couple comics at the Comedy Zone tell some jokes in front of the camera. Maybe I was trying to talk my kids into writing some jokes and telling some jokes, but then they it didn't work out. Maybe I will still. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. What do you got coming up?
Coming up, I have got. Okay, when is this coming up? I don't have anything coming up that's officially. Oh no, actually, I do. I'm going to be a part of the Boomer Broad show, which I'm not a boomer nor a broad, but it is going to be at Christy B's Comedy Club in September, and it'll be on BobbyParkerComedy.com.
September 5th, really good beer stop. We're doing another show there. Anna Lepoli will be there. It's going to be a great show. Buy your tickets at ComedySuperFriends.com. So let's see. Next week, I think it's the 22nd, 23rd, 24, 22, 23, 20. Wait, what day of the week is the 23rd?
The 23rd is going to be on a Saturday.
Okay, so 21, 22, 23. 21, August 21st, I'm at Voodoo Brewing. Is that the name of that place?
That sounds right.
In San Marco. I'll be at Voodoo Brewing the 21st. The 22nd, I will be at the Emerald Coast Theater in Miramar, Florida.
Okay.
And the 23rd, I will be at an axe throwing place. I always forget the name of it. In Kingsland, Georgia. I'll be in Kingsland, Georgia on the 23rd. So come out to one of those shows. Go to joeynickel.com to see my dates. BobbyParkerComedy.com to see his dates.
Yep.
Please follow us. Please like and follow, share. Send us an email if you have any life questions. Today is whatever we say it is, and you're here for it. See you tomorrow.
Have a good one.